Hello and welcome to Hank Games Without Hank. My name is John Green. I'm the manager of AFC Wimbledon, and in a stunning turn of events, it is raining in England. But we will persevere against, who are we playing today, Meredith? Cheltenham or something? Some of these English towns seem to have made up names, it must be said. We're playing some team in League Two, and we're going to beat them. Because, at least so far, that seems to be how we do. We've got to do something about that one guy's haircut. I can't believe there's a player on AFC Wimbledon who has that bad of a mohawk, and I hope that if he's watching right now, he won't be hurt by that. But if he is, someone needs to say it, sir. It's time. It's time, huh? Oh, Meredith likes it, so maybe I'm wrong. What do I know about contemporary fashion? Meredith thinks that that mohawk is hot, so yeah, maybe that is the case. Let's see how good the handshake is here. We've got a nice Ian Lowcroft is our referee today. No handshake. We're top of the table. We're top of the league. We're top of the league. AFC Wimbledon, we're top of the league. We're starting today the same crew that we started a few days ago. They're tired, but whatever. Life is hard and full of disappointment. You'll see there that we've got central back Lizzie Bennett, the first woman to play League Two football, I think in history, but certainly for AFC Wimbledon, a team that's only been around since 2002. And Lizzie Bennett and I had a talk yesterday, actually, after the previous game, and she explained to me that she is nothing like Lizzie Bennett, the character in Jane Austen's Pride and Prejudice, and that she prefers not to be called Lizzie, but to be called Eliza, to which I said, I'm sorry, but the fans want to call you Lizzie. So that's what we're going to do. But anyway, she's super cool, and, you know, raised in a house full of boys, has 5 brothers, no sisters, and just had a lot of funny stories about that. Nice. She's English, nice English girl. So today I wanted to talk about someone suggested this as a topic. I thought it was interesting, given the emergence of Eliza as the first female member of the Wimbly Womblys. I thought I'd talk about the difference between raising girls and boys. Oh, he was offside. The disappointment is palpable. If I just did, you see, I should have hit the yellow button a little bit faster. Oh, that old Y button, always befuddling me. So the short answer, I mean, look, I would like to think that we are relatively progressive parents, and we don't, we don't really want to like put a ton of gender expectations on our kids. And my daughter is 5 months old, so I don't know yet is the short answer. I have been astonished by how much Henry really likes like trains and dinosaurs and trucks, and how uninterested he is in things like dolls. But then again, when I was a kid, I was super interested in dolls, and Hank had a significant collection of My Little Ponies. So I think that it all just depends on the kid. And in terms of there's lots of different ways to parent your kid, and I think it's like kind of wretched when people tell other people how to parent. It's hard enough without getting a lot of contradictory advice from like a million different places. So I think that's not the way to go. Come on. Oh, that was a terrible shot. He just didn't have any power behind it. That was other John Green with his beautiful red mop of hair, just failing to get it done. I mean, other John Green and I also had a talk after yesterday's game, because he had 3 assists in that game, and he set Ball John Green up, but Ball John Green scored all the goals, and I said, I hope it isn't. Oh, no! What a save! Oh, that's our keeper. His name is Warner. We call him Warner Chilcott because he just likes to disappoint people, just like noted evil drug company Warner Chilcott. It's beautiful. That was a fantastic save. By the way, we're looking for sponsorship opportunities. Warner Chilcott, if you're interested, I will change my opinion about you as a corporation. All you've got to do is sponsor the Wimbly Womblys, which money will in turn go to sponsor AFC Wimbledon. Oh, look at him. He's all toughness. That's Francombe, and you can tell he's just, there he is. 6 clean sheets, league best. Warner Chilcott, tough as nails, doesn't negotiate prices of drugs. I don't know. We're still working on that, on what the songs are going to be there or whatever. Your suggestions, as always, are welcome. There's a link to the forum where we're talking about this stuff in the doobly-doo below. Yeah, so basically my experience, and I'm still, very early on in this, of course, is that you don't really know. I mean, for one thing, like you don't even know if your kid, when they're this little, you don't know for sure that your kid is even going to end up being a girl. Like, she probably will, but if she doesn't, that's fine. Like I think that it's just so there's enough pressure on kids without putting on a bunch of pressure about like what you're supposed to be in terms of what your interests are supposed to be, or you're supposed to like princesses and you're supposed to like whatever. And feeling anxious about that. That said, I understand how difficult it is not to feel anxious about it because, like Henry's current favorite color is black, which is a little worrisome in and of itself. But for a long time, his favorite color was pink, and that, like, of course, that's totally fine. Except that, like, there is a little part of you that's like, oh, I don't want you to get made fun of, though. And so you have to push really hard against that, I think. So like I've found that, Sarah, oh, it had to be, but it wasn't. That hasn't been difficult for Sarah at all, but it is a little difficult for me. Like it just speaks to how like deeply ingrained misogyny and gender expectations are in all of us. When like you don't want to think that, but then yeah, it's really hard to push all the way against. So I can see how it would be hard for parents, and I also, but obviously, I think about that a lot with with people who like identify outside of the gender binary, or people who people who are trans or whatever. That it's just really hard for everyone involved, because unless you are blessed to have unusually like parents who are really progressive and have had kind of like a really broad experience base. Oh, we've got to score here. We've got to score! Get it! Yes! Oh, they love each other. They love each other. Go hug him. Yes! Tackle him from behind. Oh, it's so beautiful to see two men who are so in tune with each other. Oh, they go home every night together. They have dinner together. You can feel the love in a pass like that. John Green's ball, another John Green's. They're the best forwards that Wimbledon has ever seen. Oh, it's beautiful. That's so gorgeous. Oh, it makes me so happy. Oh, man. I'm just so happy right now. Yeah, so I think it's really difficult for parents because they raised a kid thinking like, oh, I have a girl. This is a girl. Like that's the first thing that you find out about your kid. You find out at like the 18-week ultrasound, and everyone asks you, after like, is your kid healthy? The next question is it a boy or a girl? And then you say, oh, it's a girl, or oh, it's a boy, or whatever. And so like it's so deeply ingrained in you, this gender identity as a parent, that I understand like why it's challenging for some parents. That's not an excuse. Like you have to love your kid and support them and understand. But I think like that's about all of us kind of as a world becoming more aware of of transgender people, and in the same way that homosexuality was sort of just really almost like a secret phenomenon. Like even when I was a kid, like it was just we didn't see gay people on TV. We didn't see gay people in our media. We didn't see gay people starring in our football teams. We have to have that same conversation around gender and identity and stuff, and sex. So, yeah, I think so. For me, the answer is that like at 5 months, it isn't very different. It happens that Alice is like a really great baby and lots of fun to be around and relatively get it. I've got to make some substitutions. These guys are exhausted, relatively tired. She is though. She sleeps. She sleeps She sleeps an appropriate amount for a baby, which is lovely. I think we're going to bring in P. Sweeney. We're going to take out Francombe. And maybe it's time to bring in old Jack Midson. Yeah, I think it is. And then I like Yeah Bamba. But I don't want to be, well, we won't be totally unmoored. We'll just be less more. We'll just be less more. Yeah, all right. We're making 3 substitutions at once just after halftime, like a real football club would. So, yeah, I think that I think that oh, God. Panic, panic! Everything worked out better than expected. All thanks to Buckminster Fuller. Go get it. Oh, one of the great inventors of the world. And look at him. He's also a tireless defender. Oh, that is beautiful. Bucky Fuller. I love it. Oh, gosh. Oh, panic. We need a good save, and we got one. Warner Chilcott at it again. Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of the differences emerge over time, but many of the problems that we face are human problems, so they aren't restricted to gender. But there are going to be some things that are very different. But I want both of my kids, to be honest, I want both of my kids to know about the patriarchy. I want both of my kids to know, to understand the way that misogyny functions in the social order and stuff like that. That's really important to me, and not just when you're talking to girls, but also when you're talking to boys. Yeah, so I don't know. I think the main thing right now is that Alice is so sweet, but I don't think that's a result of her gender. Or maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, she's adorable and very, very sweet and super fun to be around. And she really only cries when she's mad about something, which is so specific and lovely and not like actual regular humans, Like, you got, what? What did I do wrong? Am I being penalized for being so good? Oh, I was offside. All right. That's fine, I guess. But, I mean, look how far back I came from that offside position in order to tackle. That's just other John Green being the mover and shaker that he is. So, okay, let's make all our substitutions all at once. Good job, boys. Good job. All right. Yeah, I think that, down the road, there's obviously going to be some differences, and I know less about how to shop for female type people than I do for male type people. I know you guys hate it when I do that, when I pass out of the back like that, and I apologize. That was terrible, and I gave up possession because I'm an idiot. Oh, and then an unnecessary slide tackle. This is just disastrous. There we go. It finally all came together, and we're back. It's back in the hands of Porter, or at the feet, I guess I should say. So. Yeah, for me, the question is more about offside again. The question is more about how to how to raise a kid rather than how to raise a boy or a girl kid. And then you kind of hopefully at least I don't put too much gender expectations on them and let them be the person that they're going to be, and just have them know that they are loved and stuff. And I think that's what the truth is. That was a great pass, Meredith, huh? The truth is that's what the vast majority of parents do. I think, I mean, it's difficult to understand when you are young, but and certainly no parent is perfect, and parents screw up their kids in all kinds of ways, and there's no exception to that, and I'm going to screw up my kids in all kinds of ways, and I'm going to infuriate my kids and have many weaknesses as a parent, and it's going to be difficult and not, and I get that. But all parents, or almost all parents anyway, truly are doing their best, and are really, most of them, almost all of them, love their kids very much and are only trying to do right by them. And it's just the challenge of actually doing that on a minute-by-minute basis, and trying to live with whatever the values of your family are, and your own, the way you were raised, and it's just. It's a complicated mess, and it's difficult to see that when you're a kid, because you just need your parents to take good care of you, and you need your parents to be understanding and be generous to you. And then when you're actually, but when you become a parent, you suddenly are like, oh my God, I suddenly have glimpsed the horror that I put my parents through. And one of the first things that I did after Henry was born was call my parents and just be like, I'm so sorry. What was I thinking? This was not easy what you guys were doing. And I acted like it was such a gift to you to allow you to parent me, when in fact, oh, it must have been so annoying. And of course it is richly rewarding as well to be a parent, and I don't want to take anything away from that, but it's hard work, and it's not always, it's kind of thankless work as well, because a lot of times, you don't have people banging down your door telling you what a great job you're doing. However, I'll tell you one thing. We have people banging down the door of AFC Wimbledon telling us what a great job we're doing because we didn't win gloriously today at Cheltenham Town, but we did win. Huzzah, huzzah! Thank you to Warner Chilcott for helping us, and as well to John Green, the goal scorer. And thank you all for supporting the Wimbly Womblys. Best wishes.